Hey guys, I wanted to do something special today and sort of chit chat about traveling in EVE Online. This seems to be like a foreign thing to a lot of people. For some reason, a lot of guys still die in this game when really you don't need to. Um, with the recent patch that happened recently, clearly, about like a year ago, Inties now have something where you're immune to all bubbles. So in nullsec, that's especially amazing. Being able to just warp through bubbles and keep going on through your travels is just amazing. So for starters, if you can fly an Inti always, especially when you're going large distances because of how quick you can go through gates and go through systems. But if you can't fly the Inti, you have a few options, and it really comes down to planning how and where you want to be going. Alright, so let's run through some of the features that you can use with the in-game map. A lot of people might not know this, some of you guys use this all the time, which that's awesome if you do. So one of the features you can use is statistics, and what this does is it allows you to see per hour or throughout the day where certain things are taking place. So for instance, if you want to know where stations are so you can like bash them or camp someone's station, it shows you that information. There's also stuff like jumps in the last hour so you can see in-game where a lot of the travel pipes are. So if you want to like go after someone or maybe avoid that area because you know someone might be sitting there waiting for you. Another way you can really know if there's problems in the area that you might want to be going is ships destroyed in the last area. So as you can see, in the last hour we have some nice little blips. So for instance, Geminite, right here, some guys have died there, and some guys have died here. And as you can see, if you set your desto there, you'll see that that's actually going into low sec, or null sec rather. And so you can tell if you wanted to go this way into Vale, that might not be a good plan for you because there's probably bubbles there and death awaiting for you. Another great way to see if it's just potentially ships or there's bubbles or a saber or something like that is you can use another cool feature here is pods destroyed in the last hour. So if you click on that, the same area, you see that there's still a lot of guys that have died in their pods. Now that could be because there's a space battle, but there's a good chance that a lot of that took place on gate. So you probably would not want to go that way. So if you were to see this, and this is the path that you wanted to go to get to your fancy little new place, you could either wait an hour or two, or find a different route. But all this stuff here tells you great information to make sure that you don't die on the way to where you want to be going. Alright, so now that we have the information of how to sort of scout systems or regions with the in-game map, how do we actually get ourselves to where we want to go? So we have a few options. Maybe your corpies or alliance members can scout you out there. They know the route is safe, they can tell you the gates are clear. Or maybe you can even fly an interceptor and get yourself out there pretty quick with really no risk, because you can just zoop through bubbles and you can have warp stabs if there's anything there. Really no issues. But let's say you're on your own and you want to get yourself like, let's say the Phantasm out somewhere. The best way to do it is scout yourself. And what does that even mean? Because you're just one dude, right? So basically what you'd want to do, for instance, if you actually wanted to go into this system for some reason, we would take this ship or this ship, and when you go to the closest system that has a station, so we can even look at that right now for your sake, and we can go station count. So we can see that there's no station here, but there is a station here. So we would fly the 8 jumps with both ships and park ourselves right in here. And once we have all of our stuff here that we want to bring out this way, we would undock in this little guy. And to scout yourself, it's you just sort of go into the system in this ship. Now, the fitting that I have is, kind of like jokey. It has some warp stabs, so you know if you get pointed, you'll probably be able to get out. And I have a medium shield extender on here. So let's say you jump into the system, and there's like 20 guys and bubbles. Well, obviously you're not going to be able to warp through that bubble, so you're going to want to be able to crash that gate to get back to safety. So this kind of setup will help you out, let you know if there is indeed a gate camp going on, because as much as the map tells you what has died, it doesn't tell you that there are people sitting on that gate waiting for you. So something like this, it would be a great ship to use to scout yourself into nullsec. So, as most of you guys might realize at this point, EVE is huge. There's a lot of systems you can travel to, and it can take you quite a long time to get from A to B. But if you use the information that I sort of showed you with the statistics and, you know, ships being destroyed, and if you fly the right ships in the right way, which, you know, might take you a while to master that, but you should be able to travel through EVE without dying after a certain point. And to prove that, I've actually, I've been everywhere in EVE. So it is possible to do this without losing too many ships. And yeah, blah, 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 blah.